Welcome back. Today is another Hardcore Words. In fact, second Hardcore Words. Today we're not gonna necessarily talk about music. In fact, we're not gonna talk about music at all. We're gonna talk about album covers. Now, it's still kinda loosely connected to music in the way that if you have a nice picture, it's gonna sell. And today I've picked 10 of my favorite album covers of this year and 3 honorable mentions. So first honorable mention is So What by While She Sleeps, one of my favorite albums of the year. Quick mention, the position of these bands and these album covers is affected strictly by my design opinion. Music has nothing to do with this list. I'm just looking at pictures and telling you what I think about those pictures. So What by While She Sleeps, pretty interesting concept. It's like a speaker with graffiti. It perfectly resembles the actual music in the album. It's this very punky, underground style music. And the red and white works pretty well because it's really catchy. It just stays in your mind. Pretty good album cover. Still not the best, seen better. Next honorable mention is Pressure by Wage War. And this album cover is actually pretty nice. It has a nice orange with a nice blue, and then it's all black, and then you have this diamond in the middle, which is very shiny, and it's like you just want to get this. You just want to embrace the diamond because it looks nice. It looks nice. It has nice modern approach to the font, the type. I like this album cover. I think I like it more than the actual album. And our last honorable mention is actually a pretty recent album by the band called Sleep Token. It's the album Sundowning. If you think about this at first, you'd be like, what is this? Like, what am I looking at? And to be quite honest with you, I don't really know myself what this album cover means. As far as I'm concerned, this works pretty well because this is very elegant. You know, it's very soft. It's not very like aggressive or anything like that. It's just there. And I like it. I really like it for exactly those reasons. And now we move on to the actual top 10. Number 10 spot takes Die Hard is Murder with the album Human Target. And this is interesting because this is sort of like a old painting with huge mill thing with people under it. Very dark, very scary looking, but it perfectly resembles, I guess, the deathcore genre. It's very effective. Like you see it, you know this is something epic, something more or less classic, which this album kind of is. Even though this album is really boring to me, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. The album cover really closely represents what kind of music is in the actual album. So this is my top 10 spot for top 10 album covers of the year. Next one is actually not quite an album cover, it's an EP cover, and it's a cover of Canehill's Kill the Sun EP that came out early January of 2019. It's very dark. You have these orangey, warm tones. I'm assuming this is sort of like California. You know, we got the motel, we got the empty pool, boy with a balloon, and then the sun blacked out. You don't know what band is it by. You don't know the name. You just see this picture, you're like, whoa, that's interesting. I want to listen to this. At least that's what that was like for me, because this is confusing. You wanna find answers in the music, and I think for the most part you do. Next one is another recent one. It's the album by Counterparts called Nothing Left to Love. This is interesting. This is very artistic, I would say. The bloodstains are like, you can clearly see the strokes of the brush. It's very artistic. I'll give it that. And it's also very contrasty because the background is very indecipherable. It's like, it looks like just a canvas, and then the hand is black and white. The knife is black and white, and then the red is red. It's pretty nice. It's pretty kind of depressive, I would say. It's very dark, but it does represent the music quite well of the album. But yeah, this is a pretty nice cover. This is why I put it on number 8 spot of the best album covers of the year. Next one is actually the only album I haven't really listened to on this list. It's the album by Above Below, the Lotus chapters. And here we see a person without a face with a lotus inside their face. What I like about this the most is, I guess, the colors. I really like the red hair with the blue tint on the side. It's very modern. A lot of people use these kind of contrasts nowadays, like these purplish neon style. We're gonna see that. It's coming more on this list as we go. It's kind of disturbing if you look at it long enough, but also at the same time it's somehow very serene. I like it. I really like it. Let me know by the way what you think about all of these covers and what is your favorite cover of the year. But we swiftly move on to number 6 spot of the list, which is a beautiful Oblivion by Issues. It's a pretty interesting album cover. You know, you see this person walking into like nature, you see the grass, you see the butterflies, the bird, and then some hands coming out of the window on the other side. It's pretty cool. It's very conceptual, very artistic, and that's why I like it. That's why it's number 6 spot on my top 10 album covers of the year. We move on, and this is top 5. The Devil Wears Prada, The Act. By the way, Chemical vocal covers on my channel. Check it out. I really tried my best there. But what I like about this nice picture, you see like these demons surrounding this like tower. Very interesting, very hellish, very demonic. But at the same time you have the outer part of the album cover, which is like very brutalist style name, The Act. Very in your face. It's very prominent in the picture. And then you have a nice logo by the Devil Wears Prada. It's nearly perfect. It has some sort of a picture for you to associate the album with, as well as the name and the name of the band. Very brutal style. Yeah, it's pretty popular nowadays as well. Helix by Crystal Lake. Again, you have this side font like The Act. It's a little less brutal with the font and everything, but it's still pretty, like, this is very modern looking, you know. Don't exactly know what's happening here. There's like DNA, there's like grass, there's like waves and stuff. Fish? What the fuck is happening? It's just very weird, but at the same time, like, you can interpret it. It kind of looks like someone's head that exploded. Then we got the Helix, then you got Crystal Lake. I think this works pretty well. This is a pretty good modern album cover. I really like it. It's pretty cool. So this is my top 4. Top 3 of the year. Dayseeker, Sleep Talk. One of my favorite albums of the year, but specifically I like this album cover. As I mentioned before, we're gonna see a lot of, we're gonna see some neon. There you have it. Purple, blue, very modern, very popular to use nowadays. And that's why it's in your face. Like it very clearly stands out of any other picture on this list. Just because it's such vibrant colors. You have this some sort of gradient randomly going from above. It's a really interesting conceptual picture because it's just a picture, you know, it's not a drawing or anything, but it's just the way it's been edited and the way the light works on it. And then you have all the titles of the song on the bottom. There's some more symbols on the bottom. It's just great. I really like this album cover. It's one of my favorites of the year. But not my favorite, because this is just top 3, and guess what? There's 2 more. Number 2. Very conflicted about number 2 and 1 spots. They were kind of interchangeable for me, because I really like them both. This is Killswith Engage, Atonement. I said this the moment we got the first single, which was Unleashed. I said that this means the album's gonna be very old school. This means the album's gonna be very brutal. Kind of I was correct, but this is the vibe we're getting. It's very aggressive, very brutal, very classic and old school looking metalcore. In fact, just metal album cover. It's a very nice looking drawing with very detailed stuff on it. It's like a lion. Pretty interesting drawing. Like there's a lot of stuff that went to it. You want that on the shirt. That's just awesome. But this is not my favorite, because my favorite is number 1, which is The Valley by Whitechapel. Oh my god. This is probably one of my favorite album covers of all time. I was so blown away by the actual album cover when the first single came out. I think it was Black Bear. I didn't really like the actual song because I wasn't really keen on deathcore back then. I still kind of iffy on the whole deathcore situation. I like the album, but you know, deathcore is not my thing. So what I was most impressed by was not the actual single that came out, but this fucking eye. Oh my god. It's piercing. It's looking into my soul. It's looking into your souls right now. And it's telling a story, because you've got, you know, obviously the album is called The Valley, and you've kind of got the whole valley situation going with the forest kind of caving in, and the eye being in the middle of this valley. This is so goddamn powerful and effective. I'm lost for words, especially the red. The red in this is just very desaturated, very dark red. it works so well with everything, and I love that the fact that it's very monotone, because you just got the red and the black sort of going on in the bottom there. And then you have this very, very nice old school horror movie type on the top with the Valley based on true events by Whitechapel. It's just the best album cover of the year. I don't care what you tell me, this is the fucking best. That's it. So yeah, there you have it. These were my favorite album covers of the year. Let me know what yours are. Let me know what you think about my picks. And yeah, I'll see you in the next Hardcore Awards. Very interesting stuff coming up. We've got Worst Albums of the Year, we've got Best Albums of the Year, we've got Best Songs of the Year. As usual, thank you to all of my patrons. A special thank you to my Tier 2 patrons, the man himself, Josh Berg, and Ibrahim Povataj, or Povatai, I don't know, fix me, man. Like, tell me, how do you pronounce it? Povataj or Povatai? And as well as every single other patron in my Tier 1, as well as you, YouTube. Thank you so much for existing. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, keeping track of my videos. This has been me. This has been Hardcore Awards. See you in the next one. Bye.